Hi, and welcome to today's podcast. The topic is 5 ways that you can own a business. So I'm going to be sharing ideas about how you can brainstorm ways that you can start a business on your own. And I know some of you, are entrepreneurial by nature, but one of the stumbling blocks has been that you've never been able to come up with a business idea. And I have to tell you, I was the same way too. Before I started my company, giftcardrescue.com, I was stuck in the same place where I knew I wanted to get out there and do my own thing. I knew I was frustrated with my job at corporate America. I knew I wanted to be my own boss, but I didn't have a business idea until something came along, which I'm going to talk about later. So essentially, what I'm going to do is walk you through how the ways by which you too can brainstorm business ideas and come up with an idea that you can take to market. So the first way by which you can own a business is solving a nagging problem that you have. So when you think about it, there are just day-to-day stuff that we do where there is a problem. Whether it's to do with food or it's to do with, healthy living, it's to do with the house, it's to do with home improvement, it's to do with clothing. Our day-to-day lifestyles always come with certain nagging problems. And those nagging problems are opportunities to start a business. And what do I mean by that? So for example, one person that kind of demonstrates how you can take a personal problem and turn it into a business is Sarah Blakely. And she started Spanx. And as you know, Spanx is one of those tight things that ladies wear. And what happened was that she had a problem. She liked to wear her pantyhose with her feet out. And so, since there was no product on the market to do that, what she was doing is that she was cutting the pantyhose, around the legs and wearing them that way. But there was a problem because when she did that, they were also rolling up. So they weren't sticking, to her feet, but they would roll up. So it wasn't solving the problem that she wanted to solve. So this was a problem she had, and so she set out to create a product to fix that. And that's how Spanx came about. And now Sarah Blakely is actually the youngest female billionaire in the United States. So she took a simple idea, something that has been bothering her, went out there, solved the problem, and realized that other people also have the same problem. And so I'm not saying that it's an easy path, but if you read her story, you will realize that it was one of those stories where she took something that was personal to her, a problem that she had. She did her research, found out that a lot of people also had the same problem, and then she set out to go solve the problem. So that's one way by which you can also start a business. So, what I would say is that in your day-to-day life, just, pay attention more to some of the things that you're seeing that bother you. It doesn't matter where. In a lot of areas, there are things that don't function the way they should. Or there are problems that you see where you're like, what? If only this product did this, or if only that product did that, it will be better. Then you make it better. You may be the solution to that problem. And so if you take that problem and you talk to other people, and you realize that they also have the same problem, then you're onto something. So that is the first one. The second one, the second way for you to own a business is to solve other people's problem. So here, you have to really cast your net wide and just listen to friends and family and co-workers, your local area or national news. There are always problems around that other people are having that are opportunities to start a business. And that is how I started giftcardrescue.com. So here's how that happened. A friend of mine came to me and said, hey, I have these gift cards that I've accumulated, and wouldn't it be nice for me to have a place to sell them, because I have no use for these gift cards and they're piling up. And so I would, it would be nice to find a place to sell it. And that triggered something in my mind, and I said, wow. At the time, I had no experience with gift cards. I probably had received one gift card from my boss, and I don't even think I used it. So I had no experience with gift cards, but here was somebody telling me about a problem which I recognized. And so I took it upon myself to go do some research and see if other people have the same problem. And I remember I was also in school at that time, and when I was talking to my classmates about, hey, I have this gift card, business that I'm thinking about, and people would just take out their pocketbooks, their wallets, and show me all the gift cards that they have also accumulated. And that made me feel that, you know what, there may be something here. And then I realized that the gift card industry is a $100 billion industry. And that's how many gift cards are sold each year. So once I began to do the research, I went to the mall, I talked to people, and yeah, the same result. People would say, oh yeah, I got this gift card last year, I didn't use it. Then you know you're onto something. So just paying attention to other people's problems, listening to other people's problems, friends, family, co-workers, your local area, your community. What are some of the challenges that people are having? What are some of the opportunities that you see where something is missing? Those are some of the ways that you also can start a business. When you travel, what do you see? When you go to other countries, other cities, what are you seeing that you don't have in your area? Those are all opportunities by which you can then bring an idea, maybe tweak it to fit your local area and start your own business. So that's number 2, and I am a testimony to that. If I can do it, you can do it too. And then number 3 is turning a hobby into a business. We all have hobbies. Hopefully you do. And, sometimes hobbies are an opportunity to start a business. And the advantage of that is that you're doing something that you enjoy. You're doing something that comes to you naturally. And so we want to make sure that it is something that other people also like or enjoy. So for example, if you go to the website Etsy, that's a place where a lot of people have turned hobbies into businesses. If it can be knitting, it can be something to do with household household goods, potteries. You name it. People are taking hobbies that they do that come to them naturally. Woodwork, just natural things that people are excited about that they spend their time doing, and then now they are turning it into a business. And so that is an opportunity for you to turn something that you love and get other people to pay you to do it. And so visit that website, etsy.com, and you will be blown away by the industry that has been created by just people turning hobbies and crafts and arts and stuff that they just enjoy doing in their spare time into a business. So that's number 3. Number 4 is you can buy an existing business. There are a lot of businesses out there that owners are trying to unload. There are some family business that the owners are retiring and their kids don't want to take it over. There's somebody that has been doing a business for so long that they want to just take a break out of it and go do something else. There are some people who are just tapped out. They've done this their whole life and they want to retire and go do something else. For whatever reasons, there are a lot of businesses out there that people are trying to sell. And that is an opportunity to start a business. And there are advantages and disadvantages with that. When you're buying an existing business, number 1, they already have customers. So you are getting that customer base. It's a business that has been proven because there's a market for it. They already have revenue, so they have sales. So if you come in and you don't rock the boat, you can just keep it going the way they've had it. And hopefully you've done your due diligence and it's a successful business. They also have brand recognition, so you're not trying to start from scratch. So those are some of the advantages. The disadvantage with buying into an existing business is that you may be inheriting problems that are structural to the business. You would expect that the owner would tell you everything, but people don't tell you everything. So in this case, if there was something that is structural that is not very obvious, you buy the business and then a year or 2 later, you realize that, there was a problem. And by that time, the ship has sailed. So, and also it may be in an industry where the industry may be declining and the owner may not necessarily be upfront with you about it. So if you don't do your due diligence very well, you may buy into something that is on its way out. But on an overall basis, buying an existing business is also an attractive way, because sometimes depending on how the economy is doing, you can buy a very, very good business on the cheap and be able to ride the upside when things turn around. So that is the 4th way by which you can own a business. And then finally, you can buy into a franchise. Franchising is one of the quickest way by which you can get into a business, and there are thousands of franchises out there in very, very different niches. So depending on what you're excited about, food, services, cleaning, janitorial service, you name it, there's a franchise out there for it. And if you put up the upfront cash and you have the liquidity to be able to prove that you have you're meeting their criteria, you can easily buy into a franchise. The thing about franchise is that there are advantages here, just like owning an existing business, and there are disadvantages. The advantage with owning a franchise is that you are buying into a proven model. Franchises have done their research. It's a model that works. They can tell you exactly where to set up and which locations work. They can tell you which demographics work for them. So all that research comes with a package. So you're buying into something that has been proven. You don't have to go out there and do your own customer research or customer discovery. It's been done. And you benefit from marketing. For instance, you buy into a Subway franchise. When Subway is doing their commercial or they're doing a Super Bowl commercial, all of that trickles down to you. And they also can send you leads. They generate internal leads that they can then forward to you. So there are a lot of things that come with the corporate structure of franchising, where you don't have to think about all the things, marketing and sourcing products and sourcing inventory and all that. They have all that covered. The disadvantage, of course, is that one, you have to pay a franchise royalty, and on average that runs about 8% of your sales. So every sale you made, the corporate is going to take a cut of it. Secondly, you have no room for creativity. You cannot tweak the brand, you cannot tweak the marketing, everything is there. They want all the franchises to look the same. If you're buying into a McDonald's franchise, they want the food, everything to look the same. So there's restrictions about how you can operate. And another risk is that with franchises, when the franchise has a reputation problem or an incident happens, it affects all franchises. So you've heard about those fast food stories where an employee is recorded spitting into somebody's food, and then that is put on YouTube or put online, and then because you own the franchise, that impacts you too. So what happens at corporate level or at the brand level also impacts everybody that has bought into the franchise. But on the whole, I know a lot of people who own successful franchises that are doing very well and they love it. So franchising is also a very viable opportunity to own a business. So those are the 5 ways by which you can also start a business right away. And just to go over it, number 1, by solving a nagging problem that you have. And as I said, Sarah Blakely has demonstrated that that can be a very viable option. Second is solving problem that other people have. And I am an example of that, where I took gift card rescue, which was a problem a friend had, and created a market and a very successful business. And then the third one is turning a hobby into a business. So make sure that you visit Etsy, Etsy.com, and see what's out there. People are really, really cashing in on crafts and hobbies and things that they do just for fun. So that's a good way to start a business. And then number 4 is buying into an existing business, and make sure that you're doing your due diligence so that you are not stuck with something that was on its way out, or you're not stuck with a business that has structural problems. And then lastly, of course, is buying into a franchise. And as I said, franchises are very attractive. I know people who own them and they've done very well with them. But the downside is that corporate runs the show and you have to do things their way. But it's also a load off you. You don't have to think about everything because a lot of the administrative, marketing, creative things are done for you. So if the brand is hot, then your business is also hot. So those are the 5 ways by which you can start a business. I hope that has been helpful to you. Subscribe to our channel for more upcoming videos. Thank you.